G'day guys, PP82 here. This is the first guide in my series of guides for Path of Exile for newbies. Today we're going to be going over currency, which is one of the main items you find in Path of Exile, and how we use all the basic ones. Let's get right into it, starting off with the scrolls. We have Scroll of Wisdom and Portal Scroll. Scroll of Wisdom is used to identify items that are un-ID'd, such as this one. Just using the scroll on the item lets you see what stats are on it. Portal Scrolls, as they say, pretty simple, creates a portal to town from wherever you are. So if you're out and your bag's full, you need to come back to town, just use that and bam, you're back in town. Second off, we have the items to do with turning a piece of gear into a magic piece of gear and altering it. So this is a normal piece of gear, see it's white. So if we get an Orb of Transmutation, it upgrades that white piece of gear into a blue piece of gear, as so. This gives it a stat of some sort. This has given it +4 to maximum energy shield, which is a prefix. All gear can have both prefixes and suffixes on it, and they can have several of each. By using an Orb of Alteration on a blue piece of gear, as so, it changes the stats. This one's actually giving it 2. Magic pieces can have up to 2 stats on them, and sometimes your alteration will actually give it that. Using another Orb of Alteration, it's given it 1 again, but it's given us lightning resistance. It can go through multiple different prefixes and suffixes, and you can use as many orbs as you want until you get what you want on your piece of gear. If we want to remove that blue and turn it back into a white piece of gear, we use an Orb of Scouring. You'll do that if you didn't want the mods on there anymore and you wanted to turn it back to a white piece of gear, like so. The next thing we're going to go over is the quality currencies. You have Armorer's Scraps and you have Blacksmith's Whetstones. The Blacksmith's Whetstones are used on a piece of gear which is a weapon, to upgrade it as so, which gives it quality. Increasing the quality of a weapon increases its physical damage. Increasing the quality of a piece of armor increases whatever stats on this, so the energy shield, the armor, or the evasion. If it's a white piece of gear, it will gain 5% quality. And if it's a blue piece of gear, it'll only gain 2%. And then if it's a rare or a unique piece of gear, which is yellow or orange, it'll only gain 1% quality. So you always want to keep your item at a white level, use your quality currency on it, and then upgrade it into your blue or your yellow. Because then you're using less of your currency, and that's the best way to do it. We then have the items that are to do with turning it into a yellow piece of gear, which is rare. So you have alchemies, which turns your white into a yellow item, and yellow items can have more stats on them than blue items, as so this one's rolled 4 stats. They can roll up to 6. You then have chaos orbs, which, just like the alteration for magic gear, rerolls the stats on a yellow piece of gear, as so. We're just going to scour that again. The last one we have over here is a regal orb. That'll turn a magic item into a rare item. So we'll use our transmute to turn it blue, and we've had the stats we want. We like the maximum life and the life regen, but we want it to have more stats. So we'll get our regal orb, use it on that, and it'll turn yellow, keeping the first stats but adding an extra one onto it. The last thing I want to go over is the socket changing items. We have jeweler's orbs that change the amount of sockets on a piece of gear as so. Chest pieces can roll up to 6, but different pieces of gear can roll different amounts of sockets. As you can see up here, helmets, gloves, and boots can have 4, one-handed weapons can have 3, and your chest can have 6. If you're using a two-handed weapon, however, it can also have 6. You then have fuses, which links those sockets together, so that when you have the gems in there, they support each other. The last currency we have here is a chrome. That changes the color of the sockets, as so that you can use different colored gems in your piece of gear. That's it for our basic guide on our on our currencies for just changing your earlier pieces of gear. So if you want to upgrade your early game gear, you know, this is the best and easiest way to do it. Obviously, there are way more complicated ways, but we'll get into that in further guides. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget, if you did like the video, to subscribe and like, and I'll keep creating content. And comment down in the comments below on what you'd like to see in future guides. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.